In the heart of Detroit, where dreams often fade under the weight of hardship, Zachary's coffee shop was a quiet corner of resilience. Struggling to keep his doors open, Zachary never imagined that a single act of kindness would change not only his life, but the fate of small businesses everywhere. When he found Tasha, a hungry teenage girl searching for scraps in his dumpster, he extended a hand of compassion. What followed was a journey of hope, ingenuity, and the power of believing in someone when the world doesn't. Before we dive deeper into this heartwarming story, let us know, where are you watching from? Whether it's a cozy corner of your living room, a bustling cafe, or a quiet late-night scroll in bed, drop your location in the comments. We'd love to see how far this story travels. The morning sun cast long shadows through the grimy windows of the daily grind. Zachary wiped down the counter for the third time that hour, his cloth squeaking against the already spotless surface. 5 empty tables stretched before him like a silent accusation. He glanced at his watch. 9:47 a.m., peak hours at any other coffee shop in Detroit, but here, the bell above the door hadn't chimed since Mrs. Peterson shuffled in at 7 for her daily chamomile. The espresso machine, a faithful companion of 15 years, hissed and sputtered. Steam rose from its copper pipes, the sound echoing through the empty space. Zachary ran his fingers along its dented frame. The machine needed repairs, but the estimate sat crumpled in his office drawer next to last month's past due notices. "Just you and me, old girl." His voice bounced off the exposed brick walls. The shop's ledger lay open on the counter, red ink bleeding through several pages. Zachary flipped through the numbers, each entry smaller than the last. The downtown revival hadn't reached this far yet. His block remained a collection of vacant storefronts and faded dreams. A shadow passed the window. Zachary's head snapped up, but the potential customer walked past, clutching a paper cup emblazoned with the logo of the new chain store 3 blocks over. His phone buzzed. Another text from Marcus, his supplier. "Payment overdue. Need to discuss terms." Zachary's stomach clenched. He typed back, "Can we meet tomorrow? Things will pick up soon." The response came quickly. "That's what you said last month." The bell chimed. A young woman in a business suit pushed through the door, phone pressed to her ear. "I'll grab a coffee and be right there," she said into the device. Her heels clicked against the hardwood floor. Zachary straightened, smoothing his apron. "Welcome to the daily grind." "Large Americano, extra shot." She didn't look up from her phone. His hands moved through the familiar motions, grinding, tamping, pulling the shot. The old machine groaned but delivered perfect crema. At least something still worked right. The woman tapped her card on the reader. The transaction declined. "That's weird." She tried again. Same result. Zachary's chest tightened. "The reader's been acting up. Let me restart it." He knew the real problem. He'd missed last month's payment on the card processing service. He jabbed the power button, counting under his breath. "You know what? Never mind." The woman turned toward the door. "I'll hit Starbucks." "Wait!" But she was gone, the bell's cheerful ring mocking him. Zachary slumped against the counter. The coffee sat untouched, steam rising like his evaporating hopes. He dumped it in the sink, watching the dark liquid swirl down the drain. The walls still held photos from better days, lines out the door, tables full of students and professionals alike. His father's proud smile on opening day, arm around Zachary's shoulders. "This place is gonna be something special, son." Zachary's phone buzzed again. The bank this time. He silenced it, walking to the window instead. Across the street, the old bookstore's windows remained papered over, for lease signs fading in the sun. Next door, the deli had closed last month. Tom, the owner, had fought until the end, just like Zachary was doing now. The afternoon sun warmed the wooden floors, highlighting the scuffs and wear of 2 decades. Each mark told a story. The corner table where David had proposed to Sarah, the bar stool where Professor Williams wrote his novel, the spot where little Amy took her first steps while her mother sipped her daily latte. Zachary pulled out his father's old recipe book, its pages yellow and coffee-stained. The signature blend remained their bestseller when anyone came in to buy it. He inhaled the familiar scent of roasted beans, letting the aroma take him back to childhood mornings spent learning the trade at his father's side. A group of teenagers passed by, laughing and shoving each other. One glanced in, then quickly looked away. The daily grind wasn't cool enough anymore. Not with its mismatched mugs and worn furniture. No fancy syrups or Instagram-worthy latte art here. But Zachary couldn't bring himself to change it. This place was more than a business. It was his heritage, his home. Every scratch in the counter, every worn floorboard held memories. He pulled out the day's receipts, a handful of small transactions that wouldn't cover the electricity bill. The stack of invoices in his office grew taller each week, their due dates circled in red ink. The afternoon light faded, shadows creeping across empty tables. Zachary started his closing routine, wiping down surfaces, counting the meager register contents, setting up for a tomorrow that might not come. His phone buzzed once more. Marcus again. Meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m., no exceptions. Zachary stared at the message, his reflection ghostly in the darkened screen. The weight of responsibility pressed down on his shoulders, but he squared them anyway. Tomorrow was another day, another chance. The daily grind had survived recessions, construction projects, and changing neighborhoods. It could survive this too. He clicked off the lights, each switch plunging another section of his father's dream into darkness. The espresso machine cooled with soft pings and clicks, like it was saying goodnight. At the door, Zachary paused. The street outside had emptied. The day's bustle faded to quiet. A single streetlight illuminated his faded sign, the paint peeling at the edges. He locked up, testing the handle twice as always. The key was warm in his palm, worn smooth by years of use. Tomorrow would be better. It had to be. The November wind cut through Zachary's jacket as he hauled the day's garbage to the dumpster. Another slow day meant less trash, at least. The metal lid creaked as he lifted it. A figure scrambled back into the shadows. Hello? Zachary squinted into the darkness. No response, but he caught movement behind a stack of flattened boxes. A shoe scuffed against concrete. I can see you there. He set the garbage bag down. Come on out. A girl emerged, her dark hoodie pulled tight around her face. Couldn't be more than 16. Her eyes darted between him and the street, like a cornered animal calculating escape routes. I didn't take anything. Her voice cracked. Just looking. Zachary's chest tightened. The girl's jeans hung loose, dirt ground into the knees. Her sneakers were split at the seams. When's the last time you ate? She shrugged, studying the pavement. The wind gusted harder, rattling the dumpster lid. The girl hugged herself, suppressing a shiver. I've got some soup left from lunch. Zachary gestured toward the cafe's back door. And fresh coffee. I'm fine. But her eyes flickered toward the warmth spilling from the doorway. Look, it's freezing out here. Just come in for a few minutes. Warm up. She hesitated, weight shifting from foot to foot. You're not going to call anyone? No calls, just soup. After a long moment, she nodded. Inside, fluorescent lights revealed what shadows had hidden. Purple circles under her eyes, a fresh scratch along one cheek. She perched on the edge of a chair, ready to bolt. Zachary busied himself at the counter, giving her space. The soup bubbled as he reheated it. I'm Zachary. He set the bowl in front of her with a spoon and handful of crackers. She stared at the food, hands clenched in her lap. It's okay. Eat. The spoon trembled as she took her first bite, then another faster. Tasha, she mumbled between mouthfuls. Zachary prepared 2 coffees, sliding one toward her. She wrapped her hands around the warm mug. Thanks. She didn't meet his eyes. How long have you been out there? A while. She broke a cracker into tiny pieces. Foster home didn't work out. Want to talk about it? Not really. But after a pause, they had other kids, younger ones. Said I was too much trouble. The coffee machine hummed in the silence. Outside, cars swished past on wet pavement. Their loss. Zachary kept his voice neutral. Tasha's laugh was bitter. That's what they all say. Then they send you back. She scraped the bowl clean, then pushed it away. Her shoulders hunched like she expected to be thrown out now that the food was gone. There's more if you want it. She shook her head. Should go. Thanks for... She gestured vaguely. It's still early and cold out there. Tasha's fingers traced patterns in the condensation on her mug. Why are you being nice to me? Because someone should be. Her eyes welled up. She blinked hard, turning away. My dad used to say this place was for everyone. Zachary looked around the empty cafe. Somewhere warm to sit. Good food. No questions asked. Used to? He passed away 5 years ago. Heart attack right here behind the counter. I'm sorry, she meant it. Yeah. Zachary refilled their coffees. Been trying to keep his dream alive. Not doing a great job lately. Place looks nice. Tasha glanced around. Peaceful. When was the last time you slept in a real bed? She stiffened. I manage. That's not what I asked. 3 weeks, maybe 4. Her voice was barely audible. Lost track. A car backfired outside. Tasha jumped, coffee sloshing over the rim of her mug. Sorry. She grabbed napkins, hands shaking. I'll clean it. Leave it. Zachary got up slowly. I've got a couch in the back office. It's not much, but it's better than a dumpster. I don't need charity. It's not charity. It's what decent people do. Tasha stared into her coffee. A tear splashed into the dark liquid. I can't pay you. Wasn't asking for payment. The silence stretched. Outside, the wind howled against the windows. Just for tonight, she whispered. Okay. Zachary stood. Let me get you some blankets. Morning sunlight streamed through the cafe windows as Zachary wiped down the counter. Tasha emerged from the back office, folding the blanket with careful precision. Sleep okay? Yeah. She smoothed non-existent wrinkles from the fabric. Thanks again. Hungry? Her stomach growled in response. A flush crept up her neck. Zachary grabbed eggs and bacon from the small fridge. Breakfast first, then we'll talk. The griddle sizzled as he cooked. Tasha hovered nearby, straightening already neat chairs and aligning sugar packets in their containers. You don't have to do that. Just trying to help. She pulled her hands back like the packets had burned her. Actually, Zachary flipped the bacon. That's what I wanted to discuss. How would you feel about a job? Tasha froze. What kind of job? Nothing complicated. Cleaning tables, helping with dishes, maybe learning the register eventually. He slid the food onto a plate. Pay's not great, but it's something. Why would you trust me? You don't know me. I'm a good judge of character. He pushed the plate toward her. And I could use the help. She picked up a piece of bacon, then set it down. What's the catch? No catch, just honest work for honest pay. People always want something. Yeah, I want my tables cleaned. Zachary leaned against the counter. Look, you need money, I need help. Simple as that. Tasha studied him, searching for deception. Finding none, she took a bite of eggs. Okay, she said finally, I'll do it. Over the next week, Tasha proved herself more valuable than Zachary expected. She arrived early, stayed late, and threw herself into every task with fierce determination. Tables gleamed under her attention. No crumb escaped her notice. You don't have to scrub quite so hard. Zachary watched her attack a coffee stain. Table's not going anywhere. Want it done right. She didn't look up. Better than right. Trying to earn your keep. Her hands stilled. Maybe. You already have. Customers noticed the difference. The elderly couple who came every morning for chess praised the spotless surfaces. The laptop crowd lingered longer, ordering second cups of coffee. Between rushes, Tasha's story emerged in fragments. Mom died when I was 12. She sorted silverware with mechanical precision. Dad couldn't handle it. Started drinking. What happened? What always happens? State took me away. Foster homes, group homes. Some good, most not. Metal clinked against metal. Easier on the street sometimes. How long were you out there? 8 months this time. She aligned the forks with military straightness. Longest stretch yet. This time? Ran away 3 times before. They always caught me. Sent me back. Her laugh held no humor. Got better at hiding. During quiet afternoons, Zachary taught her barista skills. Her first attempts at latte art resembled abstract explosions, but she improved quickly. It's like drawing, she said, creating a wobbly heart in the foam. Used to do that a lot before. You're an artist? Was. Haven't drawn in forever. She stared at the design. Lost my sketchbook last time I had to run. The next morning, Zachary left a notebook and pencils by the coffee machine. Tasha said nothing, but during breaks he caught her sketching. Customers' faces, the ancient espresso machine, pigeons on the windowsill. 2 weeks in, she arrived with a black eye. What happened? Zachary's voice was carefully neutral. Nothing. She tied on her apron. I'm fine. Tasha. Some guys tried to take my backpack last night. She touched the bruise. I didn't let them. Where are you sleeping? She shrugged. Around, different places. The couch is still available. Can't stay here forever. Why not? Her hands trembled as she wiped down the counter. Because nothing good lasts. Because people get tired of dealing with other people's problems. Because a coffee mug slipped from her grip, shattering on the floor. Tasha dropped to her knees, frantically gathering pieces. I'm sorry, I'll pay for it. Stop. Zachary knelt beside her. Leave it, you're bleeding. A thin line of red crossed her palm where a shard had cut her. She stared at it, tears falling. I mess everything up. It's just a mug. It's never just a mug. Her voice cracked. It's everything. I try so hard to be perfect, to not be a burden, but I always... You're 16. Zachary handed her a clean towel. You're not supposed to be perfect. Can't afford not to be. You can hear. She pressed the towel against her palm, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. I'm scared, she whispered. Of what? Everything. Nothing. I don't know. She took a shuddering breath. Being alone again. You're not alone. Everyone says that. I'm not everyone. The afternoon lull draped over the coffee shop like a warm blanket. 2 customers typed on laptops in opposite corners, while Zachary struggled with the ancient cash register. The drawer stuck halfway, its rusty screech cutting through the quiet. Come on, you piece of... He yanked harder. The drawer flew open, sending coins scattering across the counter. Tasha looked up from wiping tables. 3rd time today. Things older than both of us combined. Zachary collected the escaped quarters. But new ones cost too much. At least it's not the one from the 80s that printed those weird receipts. She grabbed a broom for the coins that had rolled under the counter. How'd you know it was from the 80s? The model number. Did some research. She emptied the dustpan into the register. Found a manual online. A customer approached with his empty cup. Zachary punched at the stubborn keys, each click accompanied by mechanical groaning. That'll be $4.25. The man handed over his credit card. Zachary swiped it 3 times before the reader accepted it. Sorry about the wait. No problem. The customer glanced at his watch. But you might want to upgrade soon. My grandmother's register worked faster. After he left, Tasha pulled a napkin from her apron pocket and began sketching. Her pencil moved in quick, confident strokes. What's that? Zachary peered over her shoulder. Just an idea. She added more lines. See, if you had a tablet here and one by the pickup counter, her pencil flew across the napkin. Customers could order from their phones too. The kitchen printer would get tickets automatically. The rough sketch showed the shop's layout with arrows indicating order flow. Notes crowded the margins. Cloud backup, inventory tracking, sales analytics. Where'd you learn all this? Library computers. Been teaching myself coding. She flipped the napkin over, drawing more diagrams. The free courses are pretty good if you know where to look. You can code? Some. Python mostly. Little bit of JavaScript. She shrugged like it was nothing. Helps pass time when it's cold outside. Zachary studied the drawings. The system she described would solve half his daily headaches. How much would something like this cost? Hardware's not bad. Couple tablets, receipt printer, card reader. She scribbled numbers in the corner. Software's trickier. Commercial ones charge monthly fees. But I could probably build something basic. Would take time, though. She crumpled the napkin. Sorry, got carried away. No, wait. Zachary smoothed out the paper. You really think you could do this? Maybe. Would need to learn more about payment processing and security stuff. Her fingers twisted her apron. Probably stupid idea. It's brilliant, he pointed to her diagram. This would save hours of manual inventory counts alone. The register chose that moment to emit an ominous, grinding noise. Zachary kicked it gently. See? Even this dinosaur agrees. He tacked the napkin to the bulletin board behind the counter. How long would you need? To build something usable? Few months, maybe. She stared at her shoes. If you're serious, dead serious, this place needs to evolve or die. He gestured at the empty tables. Can't compete with chains using equipment from last century. Could start with a prototype. Just ordering and tickets first, add features later. You do that? Been wanting to try building something real. A smile tugged at her mouth. Tired of tutorial projects. Then it's settled. Zachary extended his hand. Partner? Tasha's eyes widened. She shook his hand carefully like it might disappear. Partner. That evening, she filled 3 more napkins with flowcharts and interface mock-ups. Her excitement spilled over in rapid-fire technical terms Zachary barely understood, but her passion was contagious. Could add a loyalty program, too. She sketched customer profiles, track favorite drinks, birthday rewards, stuff like that. Slow down, Zachary laughed. Let's get basic ordering working first. Right, sorry. She tucked her pencil behind her ear. Just never had a real project before. Well, now you do. He started closing procedures. And a deadline. That register won't last forever. Challenge accepted. Tasha gathered her drawings, eyes bright with purpose. Won't let you down. Never thought you would. Tasha burst through the coffee shop's door, clutching a crumpled flyer. Look what I found at the library. The morning rush had just ended, leaving scattered cups and crumb-covered plates in its wake. Zachary wiped down the espresso machine. Detroit Youth Tech Challenge. He squinted at the wrinkled paper. First prize is $5,000? And mentorship with actual software developers. She smoothed the flyer against the counter. They're looking for solutions to real-world problems. Sounds perfect for your point-of-sale system? I don't know, her shoulders hunched. These kids probably go to fancy schools with computer labs and stuff. So, you taught yourself coding between cleaning tables. He tapped the prototype interface on her tablet. This is better than half the systems I've seen in other shops. It barely works. The payment processing keeps crashing. But the ordering and inventory parts run smooth as silk. He gestured at their test station, where the tablet connected to a receipt printer. Remember last week when we handled that 20-person office order without a single mix-up? That was just luck. That was good design. He handed back the flyer. When's the deadline? 3 weeks. She folded the paper into smaller and smaller squares. But the presentation part, what about it? Have to pitch to judges, real tech people. The paper square disappeared into her pocket. I can't even order pizza without stuttering. Then we practice. He flipped the open sign to closed and grabbed 2 chairs. Show me what you've got. Now. No time like the present. He sat down. Pretend I'm the judge. Tasha stood awkwardly, hands twisting her apron. Hi, I'm Tasha, and this is... She stared at her shoes. Sorry, can't do this. Sure you can. Start with the problem you're solving. She took a deep breath. Small businesses struggle with outdated systems? Don't ask me, tell me. What did you see here that needed fixing? The old register. Her voice strengthened slightly. It wasted time, caused errors, couldn't track inventory. Better. Now show me your solution. She pulled out her tablet, fingers steady despite her nervousness. I built a cloud-based point-of-sale system that integrates ordering, inventory, and customer management. The prototype interface glowed to life. She demonstrated the ordering screen, moving with growing confidence through each feature. The kitchen gets instant notifications. She tapped the screen, and the inventory updates automatically. What makes it different from existing systems? Price mainly. Commercial systems charge hundreds per month. She pulled up a cost comparison. This runs on basic tablets with minimal subscription fees. Small businesses can actually afford it. Now you're talking, Zachary leaned forward. What else? It's modular. She swiped through screens. Businesses only pay for features they need, can add more as they grow. See, you know this stuff cold. Maybe. A small smile crept across her face. Still scared, though. Fear means it matters. He stood up. Sign up. We'll practice every day until you can pitch this in your sleep. The next 3 weeks transformed the coffee shop's afternoon lull into a tech boot camp. Zachary recruited regular customers as practice judges, each providing different perspectives and questions. What about security? Asked the IT consultant who came in for daily Americanos. How does it handle refunds? Wondered the boutique owner from next door. Tasha's answers grew stronger, her demos smoother. She added features based on their feedback, staying late into the evening to code new modules. The day before the competition, she ran through her final practice pitch. Her voice remained steady, her movements confident. Monthly subscription includes updates and support. She concluded the demo with a flourish. Any questions? Just one. Zachary raised his hand. When do we install the full version here? Really? Been ready for weeks. He pointed to her tablet. That prototype handled our busiest Saturday without a hiccup. But it's not perfect yet. Nothing ever is. But it works, and it'll keep getting better. He started closing procedures. Now go home and get some sleep. Big day tomorrow. Can't sleep. Too nervous. Try anyway. I'll pick you up at 8. The youth center bustled with activity the next morning. Teens huddled over laptops and presentation boards, making last-minute adjustments. Tasha clutched her tablet like a shield. They all look so professional. So do you. Zachary straightened her borrowed blazer. Remember, you're the only one here who built something already being used in the real world. What if I freeze? Then take a breath and remember why you started this. He gestured around the coffee shop. All these kids made apps for imaginary customers. You solved actual problems for actual people. Next presenter, Tasha Williams. A coordinator approached with a clipboard. That's me. Her voice quavered. Room 3, down the hall. Judges are ready. You've got this. Zachary squeezed her shoulder. Show them what you built. Tasha squared her shoulders and walked toward the presentation room, tablet steady in her hands. Through the closing door, Zachary heard her voice clear and strong. Small businesses are the heart of our communities, but outdated technology holds them back. Tasha paced outside the presentation room, her tablet clutched against her chest. The judges had asked for 15 minutes to deliberate between the final 3 contestants. You crushed it in there. Zachary handed her a paper cup. Hot chocolate. Your hands are shaking. They asked so many questions. She sipped the drink. The guy from Microsoft was taking notes the whole time. Good notes. The other projects were amazing, though. Did you see the AR language tutor? Cool concept, but who's going to buy it? Your system solves real problems for real businesses. A coordinator stuck her head through the door. We're ready. Finalists, please come in. Tasha froze. Zachary gave her a gentle push. Go on. Whatever happens, you've already won by building something that works. She joined the other 2 finalists at the front of the room. The head judge, a woman in a crisp suit, stood up. All 3 projects showed exceptional promise, but our unanimous decision goes to the entry that demonstrated not just technical skill, but real-world application and business viability. She lifted an envelope. The winner of this year's Detroit Youth Tech Challenge and recipient of the $5,000 prize and Microsoft Mentorship Program is Tasha Williams. The room erupted in applause. Tasha stood motionless until the judge pressed the envelope into her hands. There's more, the judge smiled. Your project caught the attention of our education partner. Wayne State University is offering you a full scholarship to their computer science program, including housing and expenses. Tasha's knees buckled. Zachary steadied her from behind. I never finished high school. The university has a bridge program for exceptional candidates. The judge gestured to a man in the back. Dr. Chen from Wayne State can explain the details. The next hour passed in a blur of handshakes and congratulations. Dr. Chen outlined the bridge program, 6 months of intensive study, to prepare for university courses. Classes start in September. He handed Tasha a thick packet. The dorm room would be available in August. August, her voice cracked. That's only 2 months away. Later, after the crowds dispersed, Tasha sat at her usual spot in the empty coffee shop. The scholarship papers spread across the table, untouched. You haven't opened the envelope. Zachary set down 2 cups of coffee. Can't leave the shop. She traced patterns in the condensation on her cup. You need help with the summer rush. I managed before you came along. But the new system will run fine. You built it solid. He pulled up a chair. What's really bothering you? This place, she gestured around the shop. First time anyone trusted me, gave me a chance. Her voice dropped to a whisper. First place that felt like home. And it always will be. He pushed the scholarship papers toward her. But homes aren't supposed to hold you back. They're supposed to give you wings. What if I fail? What if you soar? He tapped the university brochure. This program, it's everything you taught yourself, but with proper tools and guidance. Think what you could build. Still scared? Good, means you're about to do something important. He stood up. Know what else? That dorm room, it's yours year-round. No more worrying about where to sleep when it snows. Tears spilled onto the papers. She wiped them away with her sleeve. The shop will still need updates. She pulled the envelope closer. System crashes sometimes. Guess you'll have to visit for maintenance then, he smiled. And holiday breaks, and whenever you need coffee, that doesn't come from a dining hall. Promise? Your name's still on the schedule board, he pointed to the wall. Always will be. She broke the envelope seal, hands steady now. The check fell onto the table. $5,000 of possibility. Better deposit that tomorrow. Zachary pushed a clean napkin toward her. After we figure out your summer hours, can't have my best employee disappearing before training a replacement. Already thinking about replacing me? A small smile crossed her face. Nah, just keeping your spot warm till breaks. He gathered the scattered papers into a neat pile. Now, about that maintenance schedule. Tasha stared at her laptop screen, surrounded by empty energy drink cans in the university's 24-hour computer lab. Lines of code filled the display, the culmination of 3 months' work. Still here, Professor Martinez pulled up a chair. It's 2 a.m. Almost done with the inventory module. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. Had this idea about predictive ordering based on sales patterns. Show me. She pulled up a demo screen. See, it tracks daily sales, weather, local events, anything that affects customer behavior. Then it suggests stock levels. She clicked through several graphs. Here's how it worked at Zachary's shop last month. Saved him 15% on waste. You're testing it already? He let me use his data, plus 5 other shops downtown. She rubbed her eyes. They're helping me debug. Professor Martinez leaned closer to the screen. This is far beyond the scope of your project requirements. Is that bad? Bad, he laughed. Tasha, most freshmen struggle with basic database management. You've built an enterprise-level solution. Just trying to solve real problems. She pulled up another screen. Look at the customer engagement piece. It tracks preferences, suggests personalized promotions. Have you considered patenting this? She blinked. What? The university's business incubator program. They help students commercialize their innovations. He scribbled on a sticky note. Talk to Dr. Wong. She runs the program. But it's not finished. The mobile interface still needs work, and the payment processing. Perfect is the enemy of good enough. He stood up. Show Dr. Wong what you have, and go get some sleep. 2 days later, Tasha sat across from Dr. Wong, demonstrating the app on her tablet. The core features are ready. She swiped through screens. Order management, inventory, customer profiles. The predictive analytics need more data to be accurate. But how many businesses are testing it? 6 now. Started with the coffee shop where I used to work, then word spread. Dr. Wong typed notes. And they're all using it for free? Of course, it's just a school project. Not anymore. Dr. Wong turned her monitor around. These are letters from 3 business associations. They've heard about your app from their members. They want to know when it's available. Available? For purchase, she smiled. The Detroit Small Business Alliance alone represents over 2,000 companies. Tasha's tablet slipped from her fingers. But I'm just a freshman. Mark Zuckerberg was a sophomore when he started Facebook. Dr. Wong pushed a folder across the desk. These are the incubator program documents. We provide legal support, business mentoring, even seed funding. I don't know anything about running a company. That's what mentors are for. She opened the folder. The university gets a small equity stake in exchange for support. Everything else, the app, the profits, stays yours. Back in her dorm room, Tasha video called Zachary. Of course you should do it. His face filled her laptop screen, the familiar coffee shop walls behind him. Your app doubled my efficiency. Imagine what it could do for other businesses. But school, can't you do both? Maybe, she chewed her lip. Dr. Wong says they'll help with the business side, and I could hire programmers for the technical stuff I can't handle alone. Sounds like they believe in you. He moved closer to the camera, like I did when you were sketching ideas on my napkins. That was different. This is real money, real businesses depending on it working. It's already working. My books prove it. He held up his tablet showing the shop's numbers. Profit up 20% since implementing your system. Labor costs down. Waste nearly eliminated. Other shops might be different. They're not. Talk to Pete at the bakery next door. He's been testing your app too. Says it's the best thing that happened to his business in years. She pulled up the incubator documents on her screen. There's so much I don't understand. Patents, incorporation, revenue models. So learn. Like you learned coding. Like you learned business operations from watching my mistakes. He grinned. Speaking of which, when's the next update coming? Your predictive ordering still thinks I need extra oat milk on Thursdays. That's because you keep running specials without entering them in the system. See? You already know more about business operations than most CEOs. She signed into her development environment, pulling up the code. I could fix that tonight. Add a quick prompt for special promotions. Nope, not until you sign those incubator papers. He wagged a finger at the camera. Your next all-nighter should be building your company, not fixing my inventory mistakes. What if I mess up? What if you help thousands of small businesses survive? He held up his coffee cup. I'm living proof your ideas work. Time to share them with others. The next morning, Tasha walked into Dr. Wong's office with the signed documents. One condition. She placed the folder on the desk. I need flexible hours. The coffee shop where I tested the first version, they still need tech support. The incubator includes an office downtown. Dr. Wong signed the forms. 3 blocks from that coffee shop. Perfect. Tasha pulled out her tablet, already drafting plans. I can fix their oat milk problem during lunch breaks. Tasha paced her new downtown office, surrounded by whiteboards covered in flowcharts and sticky notes. Her phone buzzed with another notification, the 15th potential investor that week. They want to schedule another pitch meeting. She dropped into her ergonomic chair, a gift from the incubator program. What if they realize I'm making this up as I go? Her development team worked in the open space beyond her glass walls, heads bent over monitors. Real developers, with years of experience. They looked to her for direction, trusted her vision. Her hands shook as she pulled up the investor presentation. The numbers were solid. 28 businesses now using the platform, revenue growing month over month. But the questions kept gnawing at her. What gave her the right to lead? What if she steered them wrong? The office door creaked open. Zachary stepped in, carrying 2 coffee cups. Brought you the usual. He set 1 cup on her desk. Though your app says I should have made it decaf, given your ordering patterns. The algorithm knows my caffeine addiction better than I do. She wrapped her hands around the warm cup. How's the shop? Busy, thanks to your customer loyalty module. He settled into the visitor chair. But that's not why I'm here. Dr. Wong called. She slumped in her seat. About the investor meeting I canceled? About the 3 investor meetings you canceled. He leaned forward. Talk to me. They're going to figure it out. The words tumbled out. That I'm not qualified. that this whole thing is just luck. I mean, look at my team. They have degrees, experience. I'm a freshman who got lucky with some code. Lucky? He pulled out his phone. Pull up your metrics dashboard. She clicked through screens. Why? See those adoption rates, the revenue growth, the customer satisfaction scores? He pointed at each graph. That's not luck. That's you understanding what small businesses need because you lived it, because you saw our struggles and found solutions. But the technical stuff, you hired experts to help with that. That's what good leaders do. He set his phone down. Remember your first day at the shop when you noticed our ancient cash register? The one held together with duct tape? You didn't just complain. You observed, asked questions, sketched solutions. He smiled. While everyone else saw problems, you saw possibilities. Her phone buzzed again. Another investor email. What if I take their money and fail? What if you succeed? He pulled up a local news article on his phone. See this? Detroit Teens app gives small businesses fighting chance. You're already making a difference. That article's overblown. They made it sound like you're giving other kids hope, showing them they can build something meaningful. He scrolled through comments. Look what this person wrote. My daughter saw this story. Now she's teaching herself to code. Tasha's eyes burned. I didn't ask to be a role model. Neither did I when I gave a hungry kid a chance. He set the phone down. But here we are. Her team lead knocked on the glass, holding up a tablet with urgent questions about the next release. They need me to make decisions. She gripped her coffee cup tighter. What if they're the wrong ones? Then you'll learn and make better ones next time. He stood up. You know who else makes wrong decisions? Every successful business owner ever. It's not just the business stuff. She lowered her voice. Yesterday, a girl came to the office, said she's living in her car, but she's learning to code, wanted advice. What did you tell her? Gave her resources, programming books, contact for a shelter that helped me. She swallowed hard. What if I gave her false hope? You gave her what you didn't have, someone who understood. He walked to the door. That's worth more than any app. The investors want growth projections, market analysis. She gestured at her presentation slides. They don't care about helping homeless kids learn to code. So tell them both stories. He paused at the door. Show them the numbers, but show them the impact too. Show them why this matters. Her phone buzzed again, the investor who'd been most persistent. What if they don't get it? Then they're not the right investors. He tapped the glass wall. Look at your team out there. They believe in your vision, not just the code, the chance to make a difference. She opened the investor email, cursor hovering over the reply button. The meeting they want, it's tomorrow. So go show them what I saw in that first napkin sketch. He grinned, a solution wrapped in hope. She straightened in her chair, fingers moving over the keyboard. The reply was brief. Meeting confirmed, and I'd like to show you something beyond the numbers. After Zachary left, she pulled up her presentation. Past the market analysis and growth projections, she added a new slide. A photo of her old napkin sketch, coffee stains and all. Below it, she typed, every business solution starts with understanding the human problem. Her phone buzzed. A message from the girl she talked to yesterday. Found the shelter. They have a computer lab. Starting the coding tutorials tonight. Tasha saved the presentation, then opened her development environment. There was a bug in the inventory module to fix, and tomorrow would bring its own challenges. But for now, she had work to do. Not just code to write, but hope to build. The morning sun streaked through the coffee shop's windows, casting long shadows across the newly installed digital displays. A line of customers stretched to the door, their orders appearing instantly on the kitchen screens. Zachary slid behind the counter, watching his staff navigate the breakfast rush with practiced ease. No more paper tickets, no more shouted orders. The ancient cash register sat in a corner display case, a reminder of how far they'd come. 3 minutes on those lattes. His barista's voice carried clear through her headset, synchronized with the queue management system. Mobile orders ready for pickup at Station 2. The door chimed. Tasha walked in, her business suit a far cry from the threadbare hoodie she'd worn that first night. "Your app's trending again." She held up her tablet, showing the morning's tech news. "Small Business Monthly wants to feature you in their cover story." "Me?" He grabbed a clean mug. "You're the one they should be writing about." "They are, but they want the origin story." She settled onto her usual stool at the counter. "The coffee shop that launched a revolution." "Pretty sure that was you and your napkin sketches." He started crafting her usual drink, the recipe stored in her customer profile. "Though I'll take credit for having the sense to listen." The shop's displays flickered with real-time updates, inventory levels, peak hour predictions, staff scheduling optimizations. What had started as a simple ordering system had grown into a comprehensive platform. 200,000 businesses now. She pulled up the dashboard. From food trucks to boutiques, even that bookstore around the corner finally signed up. The one that swore they'd never go digital? He topped her latte with a perfect rosette. What changed their mind? Their new competitor across the street. She took a sip. "Using our platform, they're running at 30% lower overhead." The morning rush ebbed. His staff moved with quiet efficiency, guided by AI-optimized workflows. No more guessing at inventory levels or staffing needs. "Remember when we had to count everything by hand?" He gestured at the storeroom. "Now the system tells us exactly what to order, when to order it." "And your profits?" "Up 60% from last year." He pulled up his own dashboard. "But it's not just the numbers. Look around." The shop had transformed. Local artisty work hung on walls, their pieces available for purchase through the app. Students clustered around tables, using the integrated study space booking system. A small business owner conducted interviews in the corner meeting nook she'd reserved through the platform. "We're not just selling coffee anymore." He watched a regular customer pick up her order without breaking stride. "We're part of people's daily rhythm." Speaking of rhythm, she opened her laptop. "The national rollout starts next week. Major chains are asking about enterprise licensing." "What happened to small businesses only?" "We're letting them bid against each other." A smile played at her lips. "Every premium account funds 10 subsidized licenses for startups and small shops." The door chimed again. A teenager walked in, clutching a laptop. "That's Maya." Tasha stood up. "Remember that girl I told you about? The one living in her car?" "The coding student?" "Not anymore." Pride filled her voice. "She's our new junior developer, starting next week." Maya approached the counter, her steps hesitant but her chin high. "Ms. Chen, I finished the tutorial modules you assigned." "Already?" Tasha gestured to the seat beside her. "Show me what you built." As Maya pulled up her code, Zachary noticed her worn backpack, the careful way she handled her laptop. He remembered another teenager, sketching dreams on coffee-stained napkins. "You need anything?" He set a mug in front of her. "How special?" Maya's eyes widened. "I can't—" "Developers discount," he winked. "It's in the system." Tasha pulled up another screen on her laptop. "CNN's running the story tonight. From homeless to tech CEO, the app changing small business." "They better mention the coffee." 3 paragraphs about your ancient cash register." She laughed. "And that terrible scheduling spreadsheet." "Hey, that spreadsheet kept us running for years." "Barely." She turned to Maya. "See this place? Before we built the platform, they were losing money every month. Now they're opening a second location." Maya looked around, taking in the bustling space. "Because of an app? Because someone saw a problem and decided to fix it." Zachary refilled Tasha's cup. "Sometimes that's all it takes." The displays updated again. Another wave of customers approached, their orders already appearing in the system. Staff moved into position, guided by predictive analytics. "Time to get back to it." He straightened his apron. "Unless you need your old job back? Tables still need cleaning." "I think I'll stick to coding." Tasha stood up, gathering her things. "Though maybe we should add table cleaning to the next update. Robot janitors?" "One revolution at a time." He turned to Maya. "You're welcome here anytime. We've got good Wi-Fi, quiet corners, and—" "The best coffee in Detroit?" She smiled for the first time. "It's in all the reviews." "The algorithm doesn't lie." Tasha shouldered her bag. "Come on, I'll show you our office. We've got some coding to do. As they left, Zachary watched through the windows as Tasha pointed out landmarks, probably sharing the same streets where she'd once searched for shelter. Now her app's logo appeared on storefronts up and down the block, each one a small business finding its footing in the digital age. His phone buzzed. Another glowing review, automatically aggregated and analyzed by the system. But it wasn't the 5 stars that caught his eye. It was the comment, "More than great coffee. They're showing us how to thrive in a changing world. Started using their platform last month. Best decision we ever made." He pocketed the phone and turned back to his shop, where technology and tradition had found their balance. The ancient cash register caught the morning light, its worn keys a testament to perseverance. Beside it, screens glowed with possibility, each ping and update a reminder that sometimes the best innovations start with a simple cup of coffee and an open door. The grand ballroom of the Detroit Innovation Center sparkled with camera flashes. Tech executives in tailored suits mingled with startup founders in smart casual wear, their conversations a steady hum beneath crystal chandeliers. Zachary adjusted his tie, a gift from Tasha, and found his reserved seat near the stage. The place card read, "Honorary Guest," though he still felt out of place among the digital elite. "Never thought I'd see you in a suit." Sandra, his head barista, settled into the chair beside him. "Shop's running smooth, by the way. The system practically manages itself now." Still can't believe she insisted we all come. He glanced around at his staff, scattered throughout the front tables. 10th Annual Detroit Tech Achievement Awards. Sandra checked the program. "And look who's getting the big one." The lights dimmed. A video montage began playing on massive screens, showing the transformation of small businesses across the country. Coffee shops, bookstores, food trucks, all powered by familiar software. The host stepped onto the stage, microphone gleaming. "Tonight's Lifetime Achievement Award goes to someone who saw the struggles of small businesses and created a solution that revolutionized an industry. But more than that, she proved that innovation can come from anywhere, if someone just opens the door." Clips played of Tasha through the years, speaking at conferences, meeting with business owners, coding late into the night. Then came footage Zachary had never seen. Security camera video from that cold night, showing a teenage girl huddled by his dumpster. "Please welcome Tasha Chen." The audience rose. Tasha emerged from stage left, her presence commanding yet humble. The applause continued as she reached the podium, clutching the Crystal Award. "Thank you." Her voice carried clear and strong. "But this isn't my achievement alone." She turned toward Zachary's table. 10 years ago, I was homeless, hungry, and had lost faith in humanity. Then one night, a coffee shop owner caught me digging through his trash. The spotlight found him. Cameras swiveled. He could have called the police, could have chased me away. Instead, he offered me a job, a chance. Her voice caught. But more than that, he offered me dignity. On the screens, photos appeared. Tasha cleaning tables, sketching on napkins, practicing her first pitch presentation. Everyone talks about my first app like it was some stroke of genius, but it came from watching him struggle with an ancient cash register, trying to keep his dream alive while helping others chase theirs. She held up the award. "This crystal is beautiful, but my real achievement happened years ago, in a small coffee shop where someone chose kindness over judgment, where a business owner saw potential instead of problems." The cameras panned across the audience. Tech giants dabbed at their eyes. Startup founders nodded in recognition. "Today, our platform serves over 1 million businesses worldwide. We've helped create thousands of jobs, launched hundreds of careers. But it all started with one cup of coffee and a simple question. Are you hungry?" Zachary felt Sandra squeeze his hand. Around the room, his staff beamed with pride. "So this award belongs to Zachary Thompson and everyone at Detroit Daily Grind. They taught me that true innovation isn't just about technology. It's about seeing the humanity in each other and giving people the tools to succeed." She turned to face him directly. "Thank you for taking a chance on a scared teenager. Thank you for showing me that one person's kindness can change the world." The applause was deafening. Zachary stood, tears streaming freely now. Across the room, successful business owners who'd started with his shop raised their glasses. Former employees who'd gone on to launch their own ventures nodded in appreciation. Tasha descended the stage steps, award in hand. She walked straight to his table and placed it in front of him. "This belongs in the shop." She hugged him tight, "right next to that old cash register." Cameras flashed, capturing the moment, but Zachary didn't notice. He was too busy remembering a cold night and a simple decision that had changed everything. The host's voice rose over the applause. "Ladies and gentlemen, a standing ovation for the team that proves success isn't just measured in profits, but in the lives we touch along the way." If you enjoyed this heartwarming story and want to hear more inspiring tales of kindness, resilience, and transformation, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more amazing stories that touch the heart and ignite hope. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story.